Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. Hey, good news. Today, you don't have to listen to my voice for the entire lesson. We have a guest. So we're going to be focused on the questions that you submitted in advance. But if you want to drop some live questions in on us, we'll do our best to get to all of those and still be respectful of our guest's time. So you can still download the PDF and the MP3, but there's no specific assignment that goes just with this lesson because the goal is just to get some inspiration or get some advice, get some little nugget of wisdom that's going to help propel you one step farther down this journey, or maybe just to be entertaining. But whatever it is, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and today we are privileged to have with us a songwriter, everything, performer, producer, singer, and just all-around great person, Heather Evans. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Yeah. So, okay. Lots of questions here about songwriting stuff, but you were saying you also do a podcast.
Yes.
Where you're like, because you do the songwriter circle. I'm sorry, I'm way ahead of myself here.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to hear about that. So you do a songwriter circle where you get together a bunch of songwriters from the area.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So it's a Sacramento-based group of songwriters, and it's really awesome because it's all about community over competition.
Okay.
And so we'll meet up in the basement of this cool coffee shop called Fig Tree Coffee, and we'll talk about songwriting and share songs that we've been working on. And it's a really collaborative space where people can give feedback on your songs, and so it's really helpful whenever you're working on a song and you're like, I don't know, is this good?
Right.
You can get in community and really talk about it with other songwriters. And we also do music showcases. We have not one music showcase going right now, but two. So the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month, we do a music showcase of the actual songwriters in the songwriter circle.
For the songwriter circle? Like where do they showcase?
So we showcase at Fig Tree Coffee and then also Shine in Sacramento.
Yeah.
So two locations, and they're kind of far away from each other, so they don't overlap like audiences or anything. And it's really amazing because we do it in the round style where a live audience is there and can watch the show. And the songwriters, like one songwriter will play a song and then the next one and then the next and then back around. And we're able, me and the host, Marco Robledo, we're able to ask them questions about their songwriting process.
Yeah.
And it's, when you're in the audience, you get so much out of it just from like coming and hearing their stories and hearing their songs too, which is so good.
Yeah. And
the audience is able to participate by writing encouragements or feedback on cards. We call them encouragement cards. And it's another way too for the songwriter to really tweak their songs, or if people like a specific aspect of someone's song, they can tell them. And and the songwriter can keep them forever. Oh my gosh, I'm just like
that's right.
bumping into everything because I'm so excited. But it's so cool to be a part of. And we record the Shine Showcase. We record it live for our podcast.
Okay.
So we'll take the interviews from that and a little bit of the performances, and then we'll put that in our podcast. And the podcast is the Songwriter Circle.
That's the name of it?
Yep, the Songwriter Circle. And it's on SoundCloud and iTunes and all that. So.
Okay, cool. Is your name on it too? Like in case there's another Songwriter Circle?
I mean, I'm one of the hosts. It doesn't really have my name on it. It's just like a separate thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the Songwriter Circle podcast.
I'll make sure we got the right one, and we'll put a link to it on the website and stuff too.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then getting into songwriting, they all want me to ask you about writing lyrics because we do songwriting workshops and stuff. But
I love it.
I go through all of the chords, the melodies, the hooks, all that stuff, and then we get to lyrics, and it just falls apart because, with all due respect, I don't really care. I just want the notes to be good, and then I don't really care about lyrics. Right.
Yeah. Well, see, that's where I'm like, I need your help sometimes because I'm like, I'm not playing right, but man, that lyric and that hook is great, you know?
Okay, so talk to us about lyrics then. Where do you start? What makes a good lyric? What makes a bad lyric? Part of like what you're talking about with the feedback.
Yes.
Like that seems scary to me because a lot of people are everyone's got an opinion, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily worth anything. So what's the difference between a good lyric and a bad lyric? Where do you start? Any part of that's interesting. We've got questions that kind of cover all the bases.
Starting number one, honestly, this is like a heart thing.
Okay.
And you're like, what does this have to do with songwriting? This is supposed to be a songwriting thing. Mm-hmm. But for real, this is what we talk about, the Songwriter Circle. At the heart of songwriting and at the heart of music, number one, you have to know who you are and write from that authentic place. Because if you're trying to write songs like Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga, I don't even know who's the new hotness right now. Sure. I don't know. Cardi B, I don't know. What do you guys listen to these days? I'm not sure. But if you're trying to be like those other artists, it's just not going to come from an authentic place, and you're going to fail from the onset. Or from the outset of trying to write a song. And so just like finding who you are and finding, what really is meaningful to you. Like when I was younger, and I started writing songs when I was 12 years old, and oh my gosh, they were all these songs about things that I was going through and emotions and breakups and hard life situations that I was dealing with, like bullying and stuff like that. And so I put that into it, and that came from an authentic place, And some of those songs actually ended up on MTV's Laguna Beach, which when I was 17 years old, I was just like, wow. But I think it was because it came from that authentic place of right where I was at, writing from what I knew about and what had hurt me, and that resonated. You know what I mean? And so coming from that perspective of writing from that authentic place, and then in knowing who you are as a songwriter and not trying to be like somebody else. And honestly, gosh.
But so people who are being authentic.
Yeah.
And writing about their experience can still write bad songs.
Oh, yeah, they can.
Okay.
It all, honestly, you have to write a lot of songs to get to those good songs. Like you might write 10 songs to get to the one good song. And that's okay. It's like it's all part of the process and part of learning. And honestly, I think getting in community with other songwriters and other people who can sharpen your gift, or go to a conference about songwriting, or really grow in that gift that you have, because it is a gift. Like not everyone can write a song. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I've realized that because my husband, he's like, Heather, you're like a magical unicorn. How did you just write that just now? I'm like, I don't know. It just happens.
Yeah.
And there is like a mystery to it,
Mm-hmm.
a mystery to songwriting. And you're just like, I don't know how it came, but it comes.
Okay.
And so writing good lyrics, authentic place, know who you are, write from your experience. That's like a good starting place.
Okay.
But also studying maybe poetry. Honestly, like I would read a lot of poetry back in the day, you know, just to see how authors would how they'd word things, how they describe things. And it almost puts you right there in the moment, sitting with them. You're like, wow, they just described this moment of sitting next to a river. I feel like I'm right next to the river.
Right.
And I think songwriting has to do that, has to transport you to a place. Because honestly, the listener, whenever you listen to a song, you listen to it because you're wanting to escape from something or experience something. And so if you can do that for the listener, like take them to a place or describe something in such a way with your lyrics that they're like, oh, I feel that. Or when you water up from a song, it's because a songwriter has done a really good job at telling this emotional story of a situation. Or a lot of times when I approach songwriting, I'm wanting to capture a feeling. You know what I mean? So not maybe the lyrics are about feeling good. So you want to describe, what does that look like to feel good? A cup of coffee? You know, like describe some things that make you feel good. And I think starting from that basic place of a feeling, okay, this is the feeling I want to convey. These are the things that make me feel good. Write it down on a list. Like I did this the other day for a song. I wrote macaroons, coffee, sleeping in, like sunsets. All these things make you feel good, you know, and then maybe use some of that in your song when you go to write out the lyrics, you know?
Yeah.
And I think too, a lot of people, when they go to write a song, they'll just have all these random thoughts and it doesn't cohesively go with a main idea. I think going in with a main idea and a main concept will make your song cohesive and make your lyrics cohesive. So
it seems like most of the main concepts are really broad.
Yeah.
So love, tragedy.
Or it can not be as well. Like I wrote a song called Out of the Woods, and it's all about it's an analogy of being in a wood, like a deep, dark wood. And it's almost talking about like anxiety and depression, but it's like an analogy of being in the woods and getting lost in the woods. And so you're like, already that picture is painted in your mind of walking through woods, and then you're like, oh, depression feels dark. Depression or anxiety feels, you know, like you're trapped in this woods, you know? And so like painting that picture for the listener, because they can't see it, but they can hear it and experience it. And with those lyrics, then you're going to put, you know, minor chords because you're talking about, you know, hard things. And so you want the sound to go with what you're writing about too. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Sure. No, that's it. Yeah. So I'm hearing a lot of analogy stuff.
Yeah.
I like the idea about lists of these are the things that go with the emotions that are coming from the song. Starting with a main concept.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all very practical. Can you think? Well, okay, couple different directions to go here. One is, do you write songs because you want to write a song, or do you write songs as they come to you? Does that question make sense?
Oh my gosh, both.
Like what are the last 5 songs you've written or come up with, even if they're not completed, and where did they come from?
Okay. Like I said, this process of songwriting is such a mystery. Sometimes you're like, I have no clue where that song came from and how I came up with that idea. But some moments it hits you like a lightning bolt and you don't know where it came from. And it's awesome. You're like, yes. A lot of time, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm usually getting ready, doing my hair or something random. And a melody will hit me and with words, and I'll just start singing into my phone. I literally, you guys, this is ridiculous. I have voice memos to know. I mean, just look at this. I don't even know. These are all songs. All of these. They just keep going forever.
Okay.
Lots of songs. And so
what percentage of those are going to turn into something?
Probably, almost all of these have made it into songs.
Okay.
Almost all of these, because
How long is that list?
I'm pretty
how
intentional.
old is that list?
Oh my gosh, let's go back in time. You want to? All right, we're going back in time. Okay. February 8th, 2014.
Okay. So you've got like roughly 100
But
ideas.
some of these are even archived. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How it goes on the cloud
Right.
after a while. Some of these I've kept on, oh my gosh, like September 2017. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've used a
so
lot
then
of these.
The related question, what percentage of the songs you've written has any other human being heard? All of them? 5%.
I release a lot of songs, which I know a lot of people don't.
On Spotify, on YouTube?
Spotify,
Okay.
iTunes. I don't usually put them on YouTube unless you can buy it somewhere. I don't know
right.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense, because I usually want, I don't know. I'm weird about that stuff, because I'm worried.
Oh, I thought I know what you meant, and then I think I lost you.
Yeah.
I don't
do it
usually
'cause
YouTube's evil and Google is horrible.
Yeah, I don't want to put it on
okay.
YouTube, because what if someone like steals the song or something?
Right, yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's not like in a sound recording,
Okay.
you could get your copyrights. You know, people could
Right.
copy the song or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm always weird about that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, tell me about that. What degree of paranoia do you feel is healthy as far as people stealing your stuff, and what do you do to protect
It's
yourself?
pretty rare, honestly, that a person would steal your song. But I mean, I just heard of Katy Perry having a debacle with another artist that she stole their beat or something.
Right.
And so, I mean, obviously she's high up. And so you don't really have to worry about it as much as an indie artist, but how stinky would that be if you're like, I love this song and I recorded it. Somebody stole my...
Yes. I don't get the
melody
feeling
line.
that Katy Perry much cares about most of the stuff that she sings.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay. I don't think she's terribly heartbroken over the song that some
Yeah.
dude wrote from Michigan that
Exactly.
she
I
recorded,
think
but-
it was, oh gosh, it was random, but there's this whole big thing about it right now that they like sold, that Katy stole the beat from their
Yes.
song.
Okay.
I was like, what?
Yeah. Good
So,
luck to y'all.
it's rare.
Have fun suing each other.
Yeah, it's so
Whatever.
rare,
Okay.
honestly. But as long as you have a sound recording somewhere, the moment that you have, you know, a recording of it somewhere, that's basically copyrighted.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't really have to worry about it too much, but
So you're
I'm
not
leery
spending a lot
about
of
it.
time.
I'm leery about it. I had all of my music that I release is copyrighted. It's at
What do you mean release then? Because I just heard that you
like on
released all those.
Spotify. Oh no, I haven't released all of these songs.
By released, you mean put on an album and sold.
Put on Spotify, put on iTunes,
Okay.
that kind of a thing.
Right.
So not all of these
Yeah, okay.
will have anyone heard, but I'm going to be releasing them in the very near future, which I'm
Okay.
excited about. So
Like as a bundle together?
no, I'm releasing them as singles.
Okay.
So I'm doing one song a month. I'm releasing
Right.
one song a month for my 12 songs and 12 months project. So a lot of these songs are those songs.
Tell us more about that.
Oh, goodness. Talk about a challenge for a songwriter. I am not only recording, so writing,
Yes.
and then professionally recording
Yes.
and releasing a song a month, which you don't really realize how much goes into the release of a song,
Right.
let alone the recording, mixing, mastering,
Tell us.
all
Tell
the
us.
things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have given myself longer. No.
Tell me this, if you weren't releasing them officially, if you were just writing them, how much of a challenge is 12 songs in 12 months?
Oh, that's easy. But it's
Okay.
the whole package
Yeah.
of, like, I work with a producer remotely, in Nashville. So he's in Nashville. I'm in Sacramento. We basically Dropbox each other back and forth. So I'll record. I have a really nice like Neumann microphone at home, and I record in my bedroom. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a really dead space. You like It's a great room to record in. And so I'll record my guitar tracks and then my vocal tracks and send it over to him. And I record it to a click track because you want it to line up with whatever production he adds to
click
it.
track meaning a metronome. That they can pull out later so that your rhythms are perfect.
Learn to play with that metronome, people. It's very handy.
Right, because if you're just recording the audio and then you record another piece of audio to go with it, they're not going to line up at all.
It won't sync. So that luckily I've been recording for a long time, so I always play with the metronome, you know. And I'll send him my tracks in Nashville through Dropbox, which is amazing. And then he adds onto that, and then he'll send me back the produced version.
And produced means?
Oh, he'll add all the things, like, because I can't play piano well. I play enough to like go neat, neat, neat. But he adds all the extras that are just gorgeous. And then, he does bass. If we need strings, he'll bring a strings player, have a drummer play.
How many of those decisions is he making, and how many are you?
It's usually us together. Like, he'll text me and say, or we'll FaceTime, like, hey, I'm going to be doing a session with a string player. Is there anything specific that you want to hear in this part? And I'll tell him, like, I'll hum out the melody and literally I'll hum into my notes and then send it to him real quick, just over text message. Yeah. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. Technology has changed the game for sure, you know? And so it's been working out really well. We've released like 5 songs together.
Okay.
I think.
Cool.
Yeah. And we have a Christmas song that we haven't released yet.
Right.
But
when did you start that?
May.
Okay.
So for TV and film, because I'm writing songs for TV and film, that's what this whole project is about, really. You have to have your Christmas songs done by like March to be able to put into Christmas shows and movies.
Yes, because they're planning their stuff.
Yeah, they're planning their Christmas schedule. And I guess Hallmark this year is releasing like 60 Christmas movies. It's insane.
That should be plenty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. That's so much. My mom's happy about it. All the moms and grandmas are like, yes. So
cool.
Funny.
All right. So so you're writing for you're writing 12 songs.
12 songs.
And
12 months.
The majority of that work has to do with everything that happens after the song is written.
Yep.
Okay.
That's when the real work starts.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to do all of that, and then you have to market those songs to the people that I intend for them to go to, which I am going after. The 12 Songs in 12 Months project was actually inspired by, I got a song on So You Think You Can Dance, little TV show on Fox.
Cool. What's the song?
Just cool. 20 Years From Now.
Okay.
And so 20 Years From Now was on So You Think You Can Dance. And I was like, I should do this. You know, I did it a long time ago when I was younger. The record I made when I was 17 years old, I got like 5 songs on TV shows.
Okay.
I know.
How?
That is a whole nother thing.
Well, we want to know.
Okay. So you need to get your songs into the hands of music supervisors, which they're the people that place the songs in the TV show where they're supposed to be. Like, they have to. They have the hard job of finding the music that works for the moments in the shows.
Who do they work for?
They work for the TV shows. So
how do I find it? What's music? What?
Music supervisors.
That sounds made up, but okay.
It's not. They supervise the music.
No, I mean the title. It sounds like they don't do anything. I'm the music supervisor.
I'm the music. No, they are hard at work. They place, sometimes 80 songs a show.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's an insane amount. But it also shows you they need a lot of independent artists.
Okay. Right.
And the reason why they need independent artists is because they can't clear,
Right.
you would say clear, artists that are on record labels because they're
Right. Yeah.
ball and chain to the record label.
Right.
The record label owns them, so they can't always get the approval quick enough.
Yeah.
So they want what they call in the music licensing world a one-stop.
Okay.
So an independent artist like me, I'm a one-stop because I'm not owned by anyone.
Right.
I
Okay.
own my own music. I can sign off on my song, and all I have to do is just ask me. There's no
Right.
one above me that I have to ask.
Right.
I can just be like, yes, you can use my song. Go, fly. You know? And it's wonderful. And
So then what you email musicsupervisor@abctv.com.
No.
Where do you hit up these people?
they don't always take unsolicited material. So that's where it's very tricky to get into this world.
Yeah,
and
what pool do you
I've
jump in?
experienced that. Gosh, the pool. There's this thing called jump into the pool. There's this thing called that I have done and a lot of my friends have done. It's called Taxi Music, and you can look it up at taximusic.com.
Okay.
And it's a great A&R company, which they find
A&R.
So they find the music
Okay.
for the music supervisors. They're the middleman almost, or music licensing agents
Okay.
that give the songs to the supervisors.
Okay.
So I have 2 music licensing agents right now that are
Okay.
working for me. That the one was the So You Think You Can Dance
Right.
one, and the other one is I just signed a deal with, which I'm like, oh my gosh, and gosh, I'm trying to explain this without saying the name of the company because I don't think I'm allowed to say it, but. So Taxi, they were the middleman that connected me to this one company that I just signed with. I submitted my music to Taxi, and then the agent was able to listen. The song was forwarded to them from Taxi. Taxi kind of like pre-screens the music for the licensing agency because sometimes they'll just get a bunch of crap, and so they want to make sure that what they're getting is quality. So Taxi screens everything for the agency or the music supervisor.
And the name of Taxi Music, like their title is what? They're the music supervisors. Or
they're like A&R. Like A&R is kind of like music industry word for the person that finds the person for the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like a middleman, I guess. And
so then I'm guessing there are several Taxi Music like websites out there.
I think so, yeah. But Taxi, honestly, they're the ones that got me all the placements back in the day.
Right.
So I'm just like, I know they're tried and true. I'm just going to stick with them.
Yeah.
It's been great. And they have listings. So you can look through, you can even sign up for their emails for free to see the kind of music that they're looking for TV shows and for music supervisors and stuff. So you'll scroll through and I'm like pop, singer-songwriter, folk, sometimes I have some alternative indie stuff. So I'll just like scroll through the genres and see what kind of song they're looking for, and I'll submit a song depending on the listing.
Oh, so
and then they'll go and
we're
listen
looking for this
to
stuff.
it. Yeah, then they'll go and listen to it, and they'll either forward it or they'll return it to you if it doesn't work with the listing that they put up. So I've gotten 10 forwards so far and got a music licensing agent through that process. And I just joined within the last like 2 months or so. So
how competitive is this thing that you're talking about?
I guess
is it pretty open? Is it a new-ish?
No, it's been around forever, but people just don't know about it. Honestly, like it's kind of a niche, you know, or niche. I don't even know how you say it, but it's a niche market. And so even singer-songwriters, they're seeing me do it and they're like, I didn't know you could do that. And I'm like, why wouldn't you do that? Because as a songwriter, you need different revenue streams.
Right.
You can't just depend on live shows because I know that there's going to be a day when I'm not going to be able to do live shows as much anymore. So I want to have that income stream.
Yeah.
And I still get royalties, which I'll tell you about royalties. And you need to be, I still get royalties from Laguna Beach and stuff. And like South of Nowhere, the old Nickelodeon teen show. And I still get stuff from that because they play the reruns every once in a while, or they'll stream it on a streaming platform, and you'll just get royalties. And royalties are like the money that you make from the TV show. And the way that you receive those royalties, which a lot of my friends don't know about this. And so I'm like, gosh, what a great place to start. If you're not already set up with a performance rights organization, do it. Like BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, those are the main ones, performance rights organizations. And
they do what for you?
They collect your royalties. Oh, it's so wonderful. And you get a check from ASCAP. You're like, oh, I love this. So the music supervisors, to make it easier on them, gosh, it's so hard, like to keep in touch with all these different artists. They will send the money that you receive from the TV show to your performance rights organization, and then your performance rights organization will pay you. So
there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, lots of people, but it's an easier way where they act as a middleman so that they don't have to keep track of me. Because, I mean, I've changed my address 500 times. And if I had to let all these different music supervisors know, I would never get a check. So I just let one performance rights organization know, oh, my address changed. Send me the check,
That's
here.
Cool.
And it works. It's so good. And you can also, I just found this out too, if you perform live your own music and it's registered on ASCAP, you can get paid for playing your own songs at a coffee shop that is registered with like ASCAP or BMI. Have you ever seen that on the doors when you walk into a venue? You're like, oh, that's cool. ASCAP, BMI. Oh, that's nice.
Why would you register then as a venue?
You have to, because if people are playing music, you can get in trouble from these performance rights organization.
Man, that's scary.
So they pay. They pay like, oh gosh, some venues, if they're a bigger venue, they'll have to pay like $5,000. You know what I mean? $5,000.
Why don't they do that in like churches? Because you got like.
Yeah, that's the licensing fee also. Because like
that's
you're
different.
No, it's the same. It's like you're playing the worship songs.
Yes.
So
a church,
from other
when they
artists.
do a song on,
and they're able to
just like
pay the artists through that, which is so cool. I'm like, come on. And so I just found that out, that I can be putting my set list, my own music, onto ASCAP, getting paid.
That's awesome.
For just performing around town. I just figured that out. How long have I been performing?
I've
been performing forever. I'm like, I've lost all this money, and I didn't even know it.
Wow. So you've got
income.
All kinds of
you know what I'm talking
we've got
about?
A lot. Yes. As a matter of fact,
income streams. Come on.
Okay. Well, then we've got a whole other. We've got a whole second interview full of stuff we need to talk about. But I've got a billion questions about songwriting that if I don't get to them,
we'll never get to it.
Yeah. So, let's go back to the whole feedback thing. Feedback on what does that mean? Go ahead. Sounds like you have a comment there.
I do. Feedback from the right people is everything. There was time, like when I was young, I would just take feedback from anyone and it would crush me. Honestly, it would just like, I'm like, oh, I quit. I suck at music, because it wasn't coming from people that I trusted and who really spoke into my life. It was just from Joe off the street. I'm like,
and Joe doesn't know. How invalid
where
his
you're
opinion
at.
is.
Yeah.
Joe thinks that his opinion is just as good as.
But somebody told me this. This is really cool. It's like, you have to, don't take Joe's words and the weight of his words. Don't place the weight of his words over someone who you really trust and admire and look up to, who is investing into your life and mentoring you. That should carry way more weight than Joe off the street. But we do that time and time again, just because we're insecure or I don't know what it is.
People like us.
Yeah. We want people to like people pleasing. We get people pleasing. And so we're like, Joe's feedback means more than this person. I quit.
Right.
And we're so easy. Like we quit every other day.
Even if it doesn't get that far, just like Joe still lives, like a little tiny guy in the back of your brain there that like even when you're trying to squash him, like he still comes back as you're writing, but Joe said, and like, yeah, Joe sucks.
Yeah, Joe is a liar. That's what I have to remember. I'm like, Joe, you're a liar. You don't know anything about me. No. But for real, it's that inner critic. And we talk about that at the Songwriter Circle so much that you have to like crush your inner critic.
Yes.
And
then we watch American Idol, and some people need more of a critic.
Yeah.
So what is some,
so hard.
When you think about advice you've given to people about their song, feedback you give them, what's something that you hear yourself saying repeatedly?
Yeah. Even, those American Idol people, let me talk about that real quick. Anyone can get better at their craft, but it just takes time and it takes investment and, paying to get those singing lessons. It takes money a lot of times, and we don't necessarily invest in ourselves enough. If you're struggling with the guitar and you know that, and Joe, maybe he was a little bit right about your guitar playing, humble yourself and be like, you know what? He's kind of right. I'm going to work really hard on that, and I'm not going to let that crush me. I'm going to let it push me forward to get better.
Yeah.
And not, because I think we can get pushed back instead of pushed forward. Like, are you letting people's feedback push you back, hold you back, or push you forward? And a lot of times I'm like, oh, that's just propelling me forward. You giving me that negative criticism. All right, I'm going to go get singing lessons. Perfect. I know a guitar teacher that is awesome, and I can get better at my craft, Right. And so even using those moments, to get better.
Yeah, like of feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it from my perspective, it seems like in the arts in general, but specifically in music, and in songwriting especially, I guess, that people feel like if they do find themselves and if they are authentic, that will take the place of having the skills to back that up. No. And so they say things that are really authentic and important to them and the genuine pieces of them, but they're terrible commercially. Like nobody wants to hear this. So this is not a criticism of you as a person, but your music
it's not going to
stinks.
work. Yeah, and the commercial appeal.
Right.
Let me tell you what. So starting at 12 and writing those introspective songs, honestly, I was that person who I just wrote songs because they were therapy, and that's good. Like,
and
I
practice.
think there's a place for that. Like, there's totally a place. Like, you never show maybe some people certain songs that you write because they're therapy for you in the moment. But at a certain point, if you are wanting to be a live performer and you're wanting to be a recording artist, you got to have music that's up to snuff with what's on the radio right now and that can translate well so that people want to hear you. You know, like that's, I think the goal is we want people to hear us. And I honestly this year it's like a light bulb moment. Oh my gosh, I've been writing all these introspective songs for myself, but I've forgotten about the audience, you know? And so I've kind of like shifted my perspective of writing songs that are almost encouragement and rallying songs for the audience and getting crowd participation, having them experience a moment, and writing those hooky songs that people can start singing after, hearing them once,
Right. So practically, how do you go about that?
Oh gosh. Writing stuff that's catchy, which I don't even know how you teach that, but when you know. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know that people know as much as you know.
I guess I know. I just know. So, gosh, I'm trying to think of a song that's on the radio that you're just like, whoa, that hooked me right away. Oh, gosh. I can't even think of anything.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Well, yeah, a lot of the questions that I have are centered around the opposite of that. Like, because a lot of people who aren't as interested in the good songs as much as is my song terrible.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of insecurity and like, how do I know if this stinks?
This is good.
Right.
Okay.
So what is bad?
If it's resonating with the audience and you are getting a specific, you're getting something from the audience. You're like, okay, this is resonating. This must be good, And gosh, the songs that are just the worst to listen to. Let's just be honest about it. Super repetitive.
Okay.
And sometimes repetitive is good. There's no change in dynamic. It's basically just this the whole way through.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think a good song has a range. So a verse or an intro, you have an intro that's like, it hooks you with the melody line that you're playing, and it's almost echoing the melody line in the chorus.
Okay.
And then you go into the verse and it drops down, and you're taking them on a little ride. You're like riding in the car, and then the chorus is huge. It opens up and it takes you into this wide open space, and you're like, whoa, this is amazing and awesome. And it usually has a part that you repeat over and over. And then sometimes you even have a post-chorus, which I just discovered the post-chorus. Life-changing stuff. The post-chorus is something like me and my buddy, I'm going to end up singing, and I don't care. Whatever. This is a singing thing. But me and my buddy, we co-wrote the song, and it's like, oh, I'm feeling good. Oh, I'm feeling good. Nothing's gonna stop me now because I'm feeling good. And the post-chorus, that's the chorus.
Okay.
And then the post-chorus is, oh, I'm feeling good. And it's like this call and response thing.
Okay.
And so it's like it's a very fun, feel-good song.
Okay, right.
And it grips you from just the hook in the chorus. You know what I mean?
Which choruses do you put a post-chorus after?
Gosh, the first chorus, I would let the first chorus be usually the second chorus, and the final chorus you want to put that post-chorus. That's the singable part. Okay. They're like, oh, I'm feeling good. And it's like that part that is the hook.
Is that where you end?
Of the
post-chorus?
song. No, then you go post-chorus to the second verse if you put it in the first chorus. And then second verse, chorus, post-chorus, bridge. Okay, the bridge, that's like the climax of the song. That's the biggest part. You're bringing it all together in the bridge.
Right.
And maybe even dropping it down right at the end to make a point. And then you're doing a low chorus, and then you're building it back up. Okay. And you're ending big. You know what I mean?
On your chorus.
On your chorus, yeah. And then that post-chorus is taking you out. What? Okay. So
do you have any songs you've released that have post-choruses in them?
Yes. Can't Hold Me Down.
Okay.
It's an indie alternative type of song. And there's a part that's like, can't hold me down. I will rise. And the post-chorus is, can't hold me down. So it's like the can't hold me down is in the chorus, and then you just keep hooking it at the end, and that's the post-chorus.
Okay.
So
cool.
Life-changing. I'm telling you what. That's the kind of stuff they're always looking for TV and film. So that's why I've been adding more of the post-chorusy stuff. It's not always, I know. Like the Feeling Good song. Oh my gosh, that's like you're driving in a car, a Subaru. That's like a Subaru commercial for sure. Gosh.
Okay.
No. Subaru.
Unless Toyota really likes the idea.
Or Toyota.
And then it's a perfect Toyota song.
Absolutely. Whoever will take it out. I'm cool. I'm feeling good about it, But for real, like, you're thinking that way.
Yes.
It's like, how do you want someone to feel as they're driving,
Right.
I want them to feel good.
Nice. And you put that in the post course.
Exactly.
Perfect. Cool. I want to be respectful of your time. I really appreciate you being here. I think we've got a couple questions from the chat. And then if we can, in like a couple minutes, we'll write a song real quick before we go.
Cool. Let's do it.
When I say we, I mostly mean you. So,
perfect. I can do it in like 2 minutes or under.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. Kendra, what do we got?
Oh, that's an interesting angle. Okay, so one of the questions from the chat was, do you, Miss Heather Evans, prefer writing about real life events or from fiction and make believe? Oh, and James is here too. I don't know, that's why
Hi, James.
Okay, why are you out of the camera? There.
Okay.
Okay.
So the question is, real life
fiction.
Yeah.
Or fiction.
Yeah.
Real life. Honestly, I do draw most of my song inspiration from real life experience, and like I said, it comes more authentically. Like in that song Feeling Good, I go deep in the verses, like come what may, it's okay to not be okay, because that was where I was at the time. So I'm always, even though it's like kind of a cheesy, I know it's a commercial song, I still bring in that element of my life and what I'm going through. So,
in my experience, even stuff that is analogy or fiction is going to be the most relatable if it's at least pushed forward by your real life. So like your a forest thing that you're talking about, like that's not a real life. There's no actual forest, but trying to relate to it, even if it's a fictitious thing, to kind of push those things forward is going to make it feel.
Yeah, and that's where analogies are really powerful. Like I have another song called The Kite Song, and it's kind of an analogy of me being like a kite, flying up. And like, what's the perspective of the kite, and somebody holding on to the string and saying, you won't let me go, And it's just like this really cute song, but it's about a kite, know? So I don't know if that's fiction or not, but it was still about my life and drawing that into the story,
Right. Well, and I love analogy, and I mostly have hated poetry. But as you're talking about, studying poetry, and I'm always like really interested in the mechanics of like, how does the analogy break down in your song? Like, do all the parts actually fit together? Or are you overextending this or not utilizing part of it? But that's really poetry too, just from a slightly different angle.
Yeah.
So,
and movies too. Oh my goodness. Like there's so many analogies in movies that you can write songs from, or so you even put your perspective in that. Even if you're writing about something fiction, I think it's always important to talk from your perspective.
Let's write a song.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. Are you going to play?
No. Well, no.
That would be cool.
Let's start with
I do that usually.
Okay.
Because then I can think about it.
Okay.
Is that weird?
Fair. Well, no, I do that to Kendra all the time, where I just force her to do stuff that she hasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
So we could try it.
All day long. That's what we do at the end of every songwriter circle. We write a song on the spot.
We've never written anything together or played together.
I don't even know what you're going to play.
Yeah, well, okay. Here we go. So
what kind of feeling should we go for here?
Okay.
Maybe...
If you ask me, we're always going to end up in some kind of like deep.
I love that. Let's go deep.
6/8.
We can go. Oh, I love 6/8. Actually, we just did 6/8.
Something minor-ish.
Perfect. A minor's my favorite.
A minor. Okay.
Yep.
But you have to touch your guitar, right?
Oh,
well, you're just gonna.
I was gonna have you play.
Oh, well, they hear me do the chord thing all the time.
Oh gosh!
But so you're gonna write you're gonna write the lyrics on the spot?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
I don't even know what in the world is gonna happen right now. This could go all kind of wrong. We call this kamikaze songwriting.
Okay, here we go.
Let's just go for it.
Angles are gonna just stay on her.
I literally feel like my voice is shot too from singing all day.
Okay.
But it's going to be great,
Okay.
Okay. Are you going to go all fancy on me?
I don't know.
Just kind of jazzy.
Oh, this is what I meant.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Keep going. I was feeling that. Maybe I'll write a little encouragement for all you songwriters out there. and it takes some heart. But you just gotta be yourself, 'cause you can't be anyone else. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. 'Cause darling, there's a spark in you that everyone needs to see. So don't let anyone drown it out or cover it up, 'cause I know that you can be yourself. Can't be anyone else. Oh, can't be anyone else. So find that spark inside, and don't be afraid to shine. 'Cause one day when the lights are off, you're gonna need a light to guide you on. So don't be afraid, my love, 'cause you can be yourself.
Cool.
That was cool.
All right.
What a nice little ditty. Well, you play way cooler than I do. Thank goodness you play that.
Okay. Well, what can we real quick? Can we do a guitar one?
Sure.
This time? Where you?
Yeah.
Play? Okay. Cool.
Where
This
I
is all
play?
you. Yes.
Okay. This
Okay.
is all me.
Yeah.
Do you want me to play a song that I wrote or something? Or just like a little snippet?
Yes.
I'll show a
That'd be great.
snippet.
The one that you said they're gonna go watch the one with the post chorus. Can you show us
Oh
that?
gosh, Can't Hold Me
Girl.
Down. That one's so weird.
Okay. Or something else.
It's a full band, but I'll show you. I could show. So this is funny because I usually play this with a full band. Can't Hold Me Down. It's
Right.
like super indie electric guitar.
Oh,
so it's
right.
kind of weird. It doesn't translate super well
Okay.
to the guitar. But you guys, I wrote this with 2 chords. And if you go listen to the recorded version, it's insane. I'm like, how do you?
Is this with that producer guy? That you're
Yeah.
talking about? Okay. Cool.
All you need is 2 chords and something to say. That's like the quote, right?
Right.
I don't know. But basically the chorus is can't hold me down. I will rise. Can't put me out. I will rise. Can't put me down. I will fight. Can't hold me down. I will rise. Can't hold me down. So that's like the chorus and the
awesome.
post-chorus.
Yeah.
But
cool.
it sounds so
Yes.
weird on
Oh.
the acoustic.
Well, it sounds good. I
But
now
it's
want to
like-
hear the other version of it.
It's epic.
That's
It's
cool.
like huge, and the drum beat is
Yeah.
incredible. It's really fun.
That's
But,
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. There are a ton more questions that we didn't get to, and I'm sure there'll
Yeah.
be people watching the archives. Hopefully, we can tag you in the near future
Yes,
to maybe answer a
definitely.
couple of those, and love to have you back anytime. We
Yeah,
got so much
I'd
more to
love to come
cover,
back.
and maybe some more songs to write together.
Yes, absolutely. That song was fun. I'm like, come on, that's a good one.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you have more questions for Heather Evans, make sure that you send those along. You can use the same text line that we were talking about before, or you've also got my email if you're a subscriber. Also, you can just comment, and we will hopefully get some of those. Or you can just go to learnpianolive.com and make sure that you also check out youtube.com/Heather Evans Music to check out her stuff. She's on Spotify, and she is all over the place. And there'll be plenty of links in the blog post as well. Thanks so much. Love you. Bye.